Treasure Coast are doing the unthinkable tonight, reburying their loved ones after heavy rains unearthed nearly 24 graves. Tonight, questions about who is responsible and when the reburial process will be complete. It happened at the Gifford Cemetery in Gifford. We are covering Indian River County with the largest news team on the Treasure Coast tonight. News Channel 5's Dan Corcoran live in Gifford with more on how this happened. Dan?
Well, Shannon, crews here at Gifford Cemetery were working just a few minutes ago. You can see the fresh dirt right behind me here. That's where the crews were digging new graves and then putting the remains of the deceased back into the ground after taking the disturbed casket enclosures out. It's not easy for them, and it's certainly heart-wrenching for the families here to watch. Lucinda Clark was standing in this very same place just a few months ago, saying what she thought was a final goodbye to her uncle.
My heart is hurting right now, it is, because this is so sad. My uncle suffered a cancer, and this right here, this is not.
She's back at Gifford Cemetery again after the 1,400-pound concrete vault housing her uncle's casket was lifted up out of the ground.
But this right here does not put me at peace to see this cemetery look like this.
Several inches of heavy rain over a short period of time were said to be enough to loosen the soil, to raise the water table in this area, and in turn disturb what was intended to be an eternal resting place.
She lived to be 100 years old.
Tashika Taylor watches as her great-grandmother's casket hangs over a pool of dirty water that's collected below.
It does feel like we're reburying her all over again.
And as families are now watching their loved ones having to be buried again, they're beginning to ask the questions. How could this have happened? Do you think this could have been prevented?
This is an act of God, of nature.
The Gifford Cemetery Association says there were several factors at work here. Too much rain, the elevated water table, and what are known as surface graves that are only about 3.5 feet deep. The manager of ABC Vault Company, who dug many of these graves the first time, wouldn't go on camera as his crews tried to fix the problem. George Wright did tell me he does what his customers ask of him, and he didn't violate any rules when it comes to his work here.
If another hard rain comes through, the whole cemetery is going to be up.
The reburials continue as loved ones find themselves saying goodbye once again. And back out here live, the Cemetery Association had never warned its clients or their families that something like this could happen because they say they had no idea that it could happen. Now, the association does want to keep it from happening again, and we'll talk about those plans and what they plan to do here coming up tonight at 6. We'll also tell you who's going to be paying for the reburial of so many people here at this cemetery. That's also coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in Gifford, Dan Corcoran, WPTV News Channel 5.
Now, South